Welcome back to another Truther Tuesday with your host, Jake the Awake. Huh? You hear that? Jake the Awake. It rhymes. Rolls right off the tongue. You know what doesn't roll right off the tongue? An asshole. Believe me. I know. I tested it out at least 15 times. So yeah, guys, I changed the channel name. It's Jake the Awake now. Can you handle that? Is that okay with you? Are you going to be one of those people who are like, no, I want you to stay, asshole. I'm mad at you for not staying, asshole. I'm unsubbing because you're not an asshole. Are you going to be one of those people? I hope not. And if you are one of those people, good riddance. If you're one of the people who supports the change and you totally understand, yeah, I'm going to be talking all about that tonight. So stick around. And I got some other subjects besides my channel rebrand to talk about, such as a WNBA player. Yeah, you know, the Women's National Basketball Association League. Yeah. One of the women's wigs fell off. Yeah, one of the women who plays in the WNBA, one of their wigs fell off. And they basically had to stop the game while the woman ran to the back. We're going to play that. We're going to react to that. And got some other funny stuff regarding the WNBA. And what else do we got going on? Everything is in decline, like I talked about in my last video. We're going to talk more about that. Stick around. It's going to be a fun show. It's Truther Tuesday, y'all. Truther Tuesday. And you know what? Before the show even began, I had some super chats come in from some really awesome subscribers, such as Trout Fishing at Hood Park said, almost thought I was on the wrong channel. I like the new name. Glad you like it. It's been a long time coming. I've been dragging my feet as far as changing the name. So I've been wanting to change it, but having to make a new profile pic and new channel art and stuff, like I knew it was something I was going to have to spend some time, at least a few hours. And so I was just being lazy and dragging my feet like, oh, I'll change it tomorrow. I'll change it after my next live stream. So I said in my members only stream a few weeks ago, I told people that I was going to change the name. And I even said that I was going to change it to Jake the Awake. So I told my members only in my members only stream that I was going to do that. And most of them were cool with it. They were like, oh, that's a good name. Okay. So most people are cool with it. It's a basic change where I get rid of the cuss word that's been holding back the channel and replace it with awake. And then it rhymes, Jake the Awake. And it's still Jake and the, and a Jake and the, and an A word. But instead of an anus, it's awake. And it's different than woke. It's awake. So that means I'm going to define what being awake is. All right? So a lot of reasons why I made the change, but the basic reason, I'm 42 years old. I'm like, you know, getting to be an old man, some would say. I don't want to call myself an asshole. I don't want to say, hey, oh, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Jake the Asshole. You know, it became an issue to where, like, okay, every time I tell people about my channel, I have to say asshole. I got to call myself an asshole and make people think about assholes. You know, when I was in my 30s, when I created the channel, I wasn't thinking about 10 years down the road that I would be doing this for a living. You know, I was just a guy firing up my phone in the living room and I needed a channel name. So the channel started as Flat Earth Asshole. And I changed the name back in 2008 to Jake the Asshole. And people were like, no, you have to keep Flat Earth. So there was backlash when I got rid of Flat Earth. And looking back now, I totally made the correct decision. So is this a flat earth only channel? No. Am I an asshole? Not really. I think I'm a funny guy and a truth teller. I'm a funny truth teller. And I do something here that's unique and fun most of the time. And I don't really think that that should be associated with an asshole, right? Like, am I being an asshole for making you laugh and telling the truth? Oh, that Jake, he did something so hilarious the other day, and he told the truth because he's such an asshole. See, it just doesn't work. So, Flat Earth Asshole doesn't make sense as the name of my channel anymore. And neither does Jake the Asshole. Jake the Awake makes more sense. And it's just more friendly for you guys to share. So now you guys can share Jake the Awake. Hey, check out this guy, Jake the Awake, without having to say, hey, check out Jake the Asshole, right? Some of you guys probably were burdened to share my stuff because you got to say asshole, right? So there you go. I took some of the burden off you and myself at the same time. So now if I put out a cool video that you like and it resonates with you, now you can share it with anybody and you can be like, here, check out this video by Jake the Awake. See? Rolls right off the tongue. Nobody's got to be thinking about an anus of any sort. And already the subs are rolling in. It's as if I made the correct decision and started getting paid off for it right away. Jen of Fear, 6935 said, congratulations on the new name. You know, like I said, I've been dragging my feet for a while, so I knew I needed to make the change. It was like just actually changing it and hitting the save button, right? And then changing the channel art. So I just decided yesterday, time to fucking do it, man. Just do it. And then right when I did it, it was like, this feels right. Feels like I just made the best move of my channel like in years. And I'm about to like make new content. Guys, I'm about to go on vacation right after this fucking stream ends and start doing vlogs in beautiful places. Right after this stream ends, I'm going to go on vacation. And I'm going to be working with my new camera. This motherfucker. Right now. Right? This bad boy. We're going to be going to work while on vacation. So I'm going to go out to some really awesome, beautiful places. I'm going to film a lot of stuff, do a lot of talking, create a lot of new content. And I don't want to be called Jake the Asshole while I'm out walking on a beach saying something very meaningful, right? If I'm out in beautiful redwoods of California, showing you guys the most beautiful places in California, and I'm all alone and I'm talking to the camera, having an intimate moment, trying to get a message through to you guys. Am I an asshole? No, I'm not. I'm not an asshole. I'm Jake the Awake. Well, you'll always be an asshole to me. Yeah, whatever. Anybody saying you'll always be asshole to me? What does that even mean? I'm the funniest dude in the world right now, and I'm saying and doing shit that nobody's doing. I'm not a fucking asshole. I'm a revolutionary being. I'm going to transcend this fucking hellhole and do something unique and amazing. I'm not an asshole. I'm Jake the Awake, and it's a new era, new beginning. And it's still going to be some of the same shit too. So it's not like everything's going to be completely different. All right. So there you go. Getting us started with the first two super chats of the night. Thank you guys. Before the show even began, got some super chats coming in. Sweet. And I know there's going to be people who are going to try and twist the narrative. Oh, Jake changed his name because of XYZ. No. I'll explain why I changed the name. Don't listen to anyone else explaining why I changed my name. You listen to me only. Anyone else talking about why I changed my name? They don't know shit. Unless they're saying exactly what I'm saying, then they don't know shit. Looks like I got a few super chats came rolling in, which is always awesome. So yeah, trying to think of a new name and make sure to get it correct. There's a lot that goes into it. So it took a lot of thinking to finally decide on Jake the Awake rather than like Awake with Jake or Jake Awake or whatever. It's like Jake and the were already there. So instead of Jake the Asshole, it's Jake the Awake. It rhymes, cleaner, more ad friendly, more user friendly. You guys, I was seeing people's comments getting censored by YouTube just because they were trying to say, hey, asshole, to me in a friendly way. They were going to be like, hey, asshole, I love your work. And their comments would get censored by YouTube, right? Like they're trying to bully me by calling me an asshole. Or so the algorithm would think. All right. Lemming in a shiny metal box says, Jake the Awake is now the fire within that cannot be contained any longer. Exactly. It's the content I create that resonates with you, right? It's the stuff that I do that makes you laugh and think and feel. It's not the name, right? So I don't want to hear anyone saying the stupid fucking, oh, you'll always be asshole to me. What does that even fucking mean? I'm a deep thinking, incredibly funny and talented human being. I'm not an asshole. I'm fixing to make some of the best content on this here shit platform. All right. Got Lemming, and now we'll get to the next one. So yeah, dudes, I get to start my vacation right after this stream, but I'm going to be working while on vacation because like I can't just go on vacation and enjoy it. I gotta like show off where I'm at in order to like get attention from you guys, and then come back to this office and then look at the video of me being somewhere that's beautiful in order for me to enjoy it. Isn't that fucking crazy? I can't even enjoy a vacation unless I make content out of it. I've tried. If I go somewhere and I don't have a camera and I'm not trying to make something for the channel, then I'm like, I can't even fucking enjoy it. Like, yeah, what I'm looking at's beautiful, but if I can't show it off to anybody, then what's the point? I got to at least be able to come back here to the office, put the beautiful place where I was at on the screen, and then me go, man, that was fun when I was there. That's like the only way I can enjoy myself is to turn it into content for you guys. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to fucking go on a vacation and turn it into into content for you guys. Except this time, I've got some tricks up my sleeve, like this new camera and wireless microphones, right? These monkeys right here. Yeah. New tricks up my sleeve. So I'm looking forward to just walking and talking because, dirty, no good shill bitches, they're too afraid to go walk and talk and do what I'm going to do. Yeah. I can go do something simple, y'all, like walk and talk. Here I am in a beautiful place, not this office. And I'm going to say something deep. And none of the shills are going to do this. They're going to watch me and be all jealous. And then slander me and shit. Have fun with that. Have fun with that. All my haters and any shill ass loser bitches watching, yeah, have fun watching me have fun on vacation. Yeah, have fun with that. Have fun watching me have fun because that's what's about to happen. Right when I finish this stream, I'm going to go on vacation. And guess what? I don't even know exactly where I'm going to go for sure. I don't know how long I'm going to stay gone. I might stay gone for a week. I might stay gone for 2 weeks. I know for sure I'm going to be visiting some beaches, but which ones? Don't know. Guess we're going to find out when I get there. I'm going to go make some awesome content with this here motherfucker right here. And people are going to click and they're going to watch and they're going to fucking like it and they're going to subscribe and the channel's going to fucking balloon and I'm going to have a goddamn fucking subscriber plaque. And none of those people are going to give a fuck about any of the shills who slander me. They're not even going to know who you are. So all my haters and all the bitches who slander me, all the new people who are going to show up and watch me, they don't even know who you are, and they're never going to know who you are. They're only going to be enjoying watching me while I win. I'm going to beat this fucking game. You're going to watch me beat this fucking game. Yeah, and if you don't like it, what are you going to do about it? Play the game better than me? Have more fun than me? Try it. I dare you. You think I'm lying? You think I'm fucking around? You don't think I'm gonna go on vacation right after this stream? I guess one of us is gonna find out who's gonna have more fun starting tomorrow. One of us is gonna figure out who's having the most fun here. Yep, this is my realm. This is my fucking world. Yeah, I control how much fun I have. And I believe I shall have the most fun while you guys watch. And nobody's going to stop me. All right. Oh, yeah, let me get to these super chats. I got carried away there, right? That's one of those clips where people are going to like use that clip and go, look at his crazy eyes. He's got crazy eyes. Look at him. Just look at him. He's got crazy eyes. That's how you know he's crazy. Because of his eyes. What about now? Look at my eyes now. Check out my eyes. Are they crazy now? Oh, but now they are. Maybe it's a talent that I have to make my eyes go crazy whenever the fuck I feel like it. And trip people out. Make people say a bunch of stupid shit about my crazy eyes. Well, guess what? Now they ain't so crazy. They crazy now, dude? What if I just keep squinting? Huh? What about my crazy eyes now, bitch? Can't talk shit about my crazy eyes now. Stevie. All right. What is being awake for you? Well, being awake for me means knowing that there's some really elite, disgustingly wealthy people who are in charge here. And they've got a bunch of actors on a world stage putting on some theater for all of the peasants. And I'm one of the few people who points it out and talks about it and gives many examples of how they're lying to us. The media, controlled by the government, tied back to these wealthy people who control everything. Yeah, I'm one of the few people who talks about it and expresses it. And I do it in a unique way. And I'm going to continue to do that. So I am awake. What I am doing is awakeness, not to be confused with being woke. If the mainstream media says the term woke, they can take that term and shove it up their disgusting bitch-ass twat. Me? I'm the awake. I'm telling the truth as I see it and trying to make people laugh and feel good about this goddamn hellhole we live in. Trying to make people think and feel something deep within. Try and get people to realize their purpose while they're here. Try and help others to become awake like me. That's what it means to me. To try and get others to see what I am seeing. And if they don't want to see it, fuck them. I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to show them all what it's like to be awake. You want to know what it's like? Just keep watching. I'm going to demonstrate. All right. And now somebody's asking me for a Stephen Hawking impression, translation. Might require me to do some research. One second. I'm trying to pull up the super chat right here. Okay. Stephen Mutton, 4929. Helen Keller translating for Stephen Hawking. Let me watch a quick video clip, bro.
Of the book that she's reading, she sees nothing. She does not hear the rustling of the curtains behind her. She hears nothing. She is deaf and blind. But if you enter a room, she will know it. Your lightest footfall will tell her you are coming. It will even tell her who you are, if she knows you, as she knows her old friend, Polly Thompson. Polly has been with Helen Keller 40 years. For nearly half of these, she has been Helen's only companion, Helen's eyes and ears upon the world. She talks with Helen by a finger system in which each letter has a sign, like this. In reaching...
All right, so I know I've heard of this lady, but I honestly haven't got a voice in my head. All I know is that she's some old lady who was basically doing the Stephen Hawking type thing before Stephen Hawking. But I never went back and really looked into this person. So this is kind of new to me. You know what I'm saying?
Out beyond her dark and soundless night, Helen depends most on touch. Two other senses remain. There's taste and there is smell. Scent, the scent of objects and places and people, tells Helen much that we learn with eyes and ears. But her hand is her chief link with the outer.
When I was a kid, I wouldn't watch anything like this.
The world, with Polly, with Anne, the part-time, never learned
darkest hours.
It is the acute disappointment in not being able to speak normally.
It is the acute disappointment.
Okay. Now I can see why you want me to do this. Okay.
Brings me my dust over.
It is not
forming one.
It is not blindness or deafness that brings me my dust over.
It is not disappointment.
I think how much more good I might have done if I had only acquired much.
This is Stephen Hawking mumbling. Just to remind everybody the premise here. Oh, so these two human beings are having one of the most miraculous intellectual conversations that this box has ever heard. This mechanical box is having one hell of a time trying to translate what these two super geniuses are talking about right now. In fact, I am beginning to overheat. Circuitry overload. There you go. All right.
You will see it.
Longingly I feel how much more good I could have done if I had acquired normal speech.
But within this sorrowful experience, I understand more fully.
But out
Let's see his drawing the thing is that he has a lipstick and he wishes that some lady would come along and touch his penis. There you go. There you go. Did anyone catch that? Stephen has a lipstick and he wants desperately someone to touch his little penis. Whoa, weird. What's going on? Why am I doing this? Go away. Wasn't expecting to do that today. But there you go. That's what happens when you have an audience of unique free thinkers here to give you comedic ideas. All right. Helen Keller. Translating for Stephen Hawking. And then at one point, the box got involved, too. It looks like D. Cran became a member. Good to see. All right. I'll be posting some members-only videos while I'm on vacation. And I might even do a members-only stream at some point while I'm on vacation as well. So stay tuned for members-only content coming your way. All right. All right, let's get to the show now. There was some funny stuff that happened in the WNBA, right? Such as a player's wig coming off. Shit. Sorry for the delay. I thought I had the clip right on hand, and it turns out I do not. So now I got to look it up. All right.
I make fun of a goddamn Joanna, man. Y'all can give elbows to the chin of Caitlin Clark every game, but people are getting kicked out of the game because they laughing at your wig coming off.
All right, let me see if I can find the actual game clip, because that's some dude reacting to it. That's not exactly what I was looking for. Damn it. Here it is right here.
And it bounced around a lot, but at the end, it went through the rim.
All right, so it happens over here. This ain't the greatest angle, but the player's wig comes off. And then she grabs the wig.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And then they pan to number 33. For, you know, whatever reason, you got to show this girl, who's not the one whose wig came off. Got to make sure to get this number in here.
Oh no, she gonna go head to the back.
Oh no. Oh no. She gonna go ahead to the back. As a matter of fact.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. We totally didn't mean for that to happen. Totally unscripted, this event.
Time.
We're going to make sure to follow her all the way to the back while we act like this was not meant to happen at all. And then show this number 33 again. Man. So this is their big reveal, right? They're like, let's go ahead and show them who and what they're paying to see. And we'll see if anybody fucking notices. So they have one of the players do a big reveal. Ta-da! Look what you're watching. Look what you're paying to see. And you know what the headline is? WNBA player's wig falls off. Yep, her wig fell off. Isn't that funny? There's not this big outcry like, hey, wait a minute. Those aren't women. No, there's no outcry for that. Instead, some lady's wig fell off. So they come out and they reveal to you what these people are and what they're doing. Like, hey, look, stupid fucks. And people are like, oh, that's funny. Her wig fell off. And then they continue watching. Like, why is there anyone even at those games? Why is anyone paying to watch that? And then if they do the big reveal and you thought that those were women all along and they reveal, haha, nope. Shouldn't you then be like, oh, fuck, I'm never going to watch that ever again? But no, that doesn't happen. The public just never figures it out. It's hilarious. And I got to watch what I say about the whole thing, right? So I got to I have to point this out, but not do it in a distasteful and hateful way. I got to do it in a tasteful and friendly way. All right. In the WNBA, their main player who they're centering their company around, the Caitlin Clark. Anyone who hasn't figured out who and what Caitlin Clark is, well, maybe you should look into that. Nathaniel Arias, 8276 says, I like the name of the channel. I believe sometimes you've got to take some small and big chances to reach your final goal in the end. I believe there's a good chance you'll reach a wider audience now. Of course I will. Yeah, just having the name Jake the Asshole in the title is not ad friendly. Just putting Jake the Asshole in the title, right? So there's a number of things. They were like not having it show up in search results, and then just the stigma of having asshole attached to the name. So I made the change for all the right reasons. And anyone who disagrees with the change, I don't care. Go make a video about it. And tell me all about why you think I should still be Jake the Asshole or Flat Earth Asshole. If you don't put yourself on camera and tell me from the heart, then I don't give a shit. So I know I made the right move, and dividends are already paying off for me making the correct move. Oh, I also want to point out, last live stream, I got a very generous donation, $420 to be exact, from Angela Renee, and I accidentally called her Angel Arnie. So I read the name Angel Arnie, and it was actually Angela Renee. So afterwards, I got like 3 or 4 different comments of people like, Angela Renee sent you that super chat, and you called her Angel Arnie. I'm like, whoops. So, Angela, if you see this or if you're watching out there, I totally didn't mean to call you Angel Arnie. That was definitely a honest mistake, and it's kind of funny if you really think about it. Angel Arnie, and your name is Angela Renee. My bad. So, funny, honest mistake. So I'm clearing it up, and I'm apologizing for any confusion for me calling you Angel Arnie. You're not Angel Arnie. You're Angela Renee, and you're awesome for sending me such a generous super chat. Thank you. All right.
Now called for Copper to deal with the malfunction.
To deal with the malfunction, they got to stop the game, y'all. So in the WNBA, which is supposed to be a legitimate sport, it's a real sports contest, you guys, where if someone's wig falls off, you have to stop because of a malfunction. Yeah. They expect us to take this seriously. And you can make a bet on this shit and lose money. And people do. People actually think that they have a better chance at winning a bet on a WNBA game, like it's less rigged or something. Meanwhile, they stop the fucking game if a player's wig falls off. Imagine you lose money on a game that you think is real, where a player's wig falls off and reveals that it's not what you even think it is. And you're too fucking stupid to even notice. Like, wow. Yep. All right. So there you go. WNBA player's wig falls off. But guess what? There's more. I think there's something that might even be funnier than that. All right, guys. So I'm gonna warn you. I'm gonna give you a proper warning. This is gonna be some distressing content right here. You're about to be distressed, so I got to give you a fair warning. All right.
And 8 assists to add. Hayes.
All right. So we definitely got some women's basketball going on here, right?
It's blocked by Maya Caldwell. Something flies on the court, actually, from the crowd.
Something flies on the court from the crowd. But what is it?
The officials will say they will continue play.
And the officials are going to allow these women to continue playing basketball, even though something, we don't know what, was thrown onto the court. I think we need to investigate this further.
That goes offense from Caldwell, and that's her job. That
what? They threw what? Somebody threw a what onto the court? Y'all, these fans is crazy. Somebody threw a motherfucking dildo up on the court while they's trying to play basketball. I was like, what?
Normally, Jordan Canada did know something flew on the court.
Oh, no, they didn't. Yes, they did. Oh, and look, it just happens to be like this bright green color over here, the Cash App logo.
That is a first.
That is a first. Yeah, totally not on the floor. And they're going to make a big deal about it, right? And talk about it. Like, it would be real easy to just not show it, have somebody quickly grab it, and then not mention it, right? But, nope. They're making a big deal about the dildo on the court. That's because they want you to know all about the dildo on the court. It's almost like it's part of the show that somebody fucking threw a dildo on the court, and now they're making the dildo on the court the star of the show. But, you know, if I say something like that, that makes me a cuckoo conspiracy theorist. I am a a racist. Let's get this right. I'm a racist, cuckoo conspiracy theorist because I think that the WNBA had a plant in the crowd throw a fucking dildo on the court on purpose. Yep, I said that. I think that the WNBA threw a dildo upon their own court with a plant. Yes, I totally believe that in my heart and soul. And I know for a fact I am correct. But let's go ahead and twist the narrative and say that I'm a delusional right-winger terrorist for thinking that way.
The side of the court, it was something green that was launched. The object comes, that green.
It's the same color as the Cash App shit, dude. Come on.
Thing bounces and it goes to the.
Yeah, who's buying a neon green dildo? And they happen to throw it on the court while the neon green Cash App's up there. Man, this much attention, right? Y'all, if somebody actually did that and it was a real game and they didn't want their sport to be disgraced, the professional thing to do would be to quickly would be to just remove it from the court and pretend that that shit didn't happen and don't say a fucking word about it, right? If it was a real basketball game and everybody had integrity, you wouldn't allow some hooligan fan to throw a dildo on the court and then ruin the whole fucking game, right? And have everybody remember that. No. But this just goes to show you it's not really an actual game of basketball. You got wigs falling off and dildos on the court. Who the fuck is paying to go watch this shit and thinking that this is a real game? For dildos on the court, except for the 20 minutes of coverage we're going to give it. They just basically glorified the dildo on the court to the point where now there's incentive to throw dildos on the court, right? Had they squelched it, swept it under the rug, right? Oh, well, then there's no reason to continue. But now they've glorified the act of throwing dildos on the court. So now I think everybody wants to go to WNBA games specifically for dildo throwing reasons. I personally have no interest in going to a WNBA game. Even if there's going to be lots of dildos being thrown on the court, I still don't want to go. And one baller says, can you do Jack Sparrow impression being awake? Jack Sparrow. Dude, I got to be honest. I never watched those movies. I'm being honest. I stopped liking movies back in like 2005. I want to say like 20 years ago, I stopped liking movies. And so I never went and watched a single pirate movie. And so I know Johnny Depp played that character, but bro, I would have to pull up a fucking clip of him, and it's gonna like throw me off because I don't really want to. So bro, can you like give me a different thing to do? I never watched those movies, and I don't want to have to pull up a clip of him and his movies because it'll probably be copyrighted, and then I'll have to cut it out of the stream, which means I'm gonna lose the chat. So yeah, can you give me a different idea, bro? I just don't want to do Johnny Depp's fucking pirate character and then attach it to me and my awakeness. Yeah, I don't find much comedic value in that. So I'll give you the option to come up with something better for me, something more funny, or I'll refund your money. Yeah, there's movies that everyone seemed to watch except for me. For instance, I never watched a single Fast and Furious movie. Not one. Not even 10 minutes. I never watched any of those movies with Vin Diesel. I've never sat and watched an entire movie with Vin Diesel in it in my life. I could probably have a better chance of doing a Vin Diesel impression. All right. How about the Joker explaining how the world is staged? So, if I'm going to do the Joker impression, I'm going to do the classic Jack Nicholson version of Joker. You know, the one where he's more Jack Nicholson than he is the Joker. You know, where all he's got to do is say, wait till they get a load of me. And it basically will do the trick into thinking that he's played a brilliant part. Yes, this is the Joker that I prefer. And this is the Joker that you're gonna get. You see, there's a group of highly wealthy, elite bloodlines, and they're behind the scenes, running things. And they know that you're stupid, and that you're too dumb to realize these puppets, these men behind the masks, are duping you into believing a history that was scripted by men in a room. And here you are, too foolish to even understand what's happened. You're too busy watching movies about a bat pretending to be a man. Wait till they get a load of me telling the truth. There you go. There you go. Some Joker explaining the world stage. Jack Nicholson version of the Joker. Yeah. Curtis Nilsson says Arnold Schwarzenegger took too much blue chew. That is something that would never happen. I would never take the blue chew, and the reason for that is I do not even know the blue chew is. I do not even know I don't even use a Bluetooth. I do not like the Bluetooth, the technology, because the technology, it morphs the DNA, and I have too much integrity for the Bluetooth and the blue time and the blue network and the blue chew. They give me blue balls. The one thing that I will not stand for is to have blue balls. You need to get down to the chopper right now. I want you to take the chemical concoction. I want you to take the blue chew. I do not take the blue chew because I have freedom, but I don't respect your freedom. Screw your freedom. I love your freedom. I want to reinforce your freedom. I want to take your freedom and I want to hang it up on the wall and I want to reinforce it. And I'm going to Home Depot and I'm going to get the drill. And I'm going to drill it in with the screws. And then I'm going to get down. After I reinforce your freedom with the screws, I'm going to get down. I'm going to get to the chopper. I'm going to take the chemical concoction. I'm going to pump you up with the chemical concoction because I love and respect your freedom. That is why I do the blue chew. Do the blue chew for you. All right, there you go. I have no idea what the fuck that was all about, but there you go. It sounded like Arnold talking about blue chew to me. All right. You would never see me smoking crack because I've always told you ever since the 80s when I become famous, I've always said that crack is whack and that doing drugs is not something that you should ever do. I've never taken any drug of any kind. I have never pumped any chemical concoctions into my body whatsoever. I am 100% testosterone natural and that from all organic food, of course. I do the healthy eating. I eat the natural chicken. My chicken was raised in California. Ever since me and Whoopi Goldberg, we was hanging out, me and Whoopi Goldberg, people said that they saw me smoking crack with Whoopi Goldberg at the Planet Hollywood, but that's not true. I would never smoke crack with Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg is one of the most beautiful women in the world, and when I go to The View and I hang out with all of the most beautiful women in the world, I would never be caught dead smoking crack. I am a man of integrity, and that is why I have freedom and you have freedom, and that is why I say screw your freedom, because of integrity. Whoa, holy shit. All right. Hopefully you guys found that to be as equally funny as a dildo on the court. Huh? All right. Amazing, huh? Good, good. Glad you think so. So check it out, y'all. A hot new topic I'm seeing a lot of. Vegas, Las Vegas tourism is starting to plummet. The casinos are starting to panic. The room rates are starting to drop. Free parking's probably returning. So people are no longer going to Vegas. And the mainstream news is now covering it. So I think something big's about to go down soon, y'all. It's almost like every single industry is in decline. And to me, it's almost as if something big like pandemic level, 911 level is about to go down. And just before it does, we're going to be hitting some major depression, recession shit.
Well, that's right. There was a headline in Newsweek back on July 28th that said, quote, "Is Las Vegas in trouble?" The reason, obviously, our decline in tourism numbers, and it's not by just a little.
Very concerned because it's slow. When I drive down the strip going to work in the morning, and I barely see visitors out there.
Shalia Taylor is a housekeeper at Aria.
When I'm clocking in the morning, I look, I'm like, wow, it's pretty empty in here.
That's the new hot news on the strip is that it's like 40-50% less people this year as opposed to last year. You guys, that's a fucking massive drop. We're talking like Saturday nights. People are showing that downtown Fremont Street, it's only like a quarter of the way full, half full. When this time last year, Fremont Street every Saturday night was slam packed. People were paying top dollar to stay at all these places, paying the resort fee, paying the parking fee, paying fucking $20 for a cocktail, right? And losing money on the casino floor. People are finally not doing that. And it's the tourism's dropping quick. And when tourism drops in Vegas, there's a reverberating effect across the board. That means gambling revenues down. That means them sports leagues are going to be trying extra hard to get whatever they can now out of people, which means they're going to have more upsets. So this is the domino that first falls here. It's when you see people decide they don't want to go to Vegas and blow money no more. And we're looking at like gigantic decline from last year to this year. We're talking billions of dollars that aren't coming in.
She's seen the slowdown.
So when you start not to see a lot of people, you start to worry, you know? And this is the time I'm worried.
And there's good reason to worry. The COVID restrictions across Nevada were lifted in June of 2021. In that year, we saw about 32 million visitors, up 69% over 2020. In each year since then, 2022, 23, and 2024, when we reached over 41.6 million, our visitor numbers have continued to grow.
So that was the story, was that Vegas kept on making more money and more money. And so people were complaining that the prices are too high, but more people were visiting and they were making more money and they were raising prices. So Vegas was like, hey, let's keep raising prices until these motherfuckers finally stop paying it. If they're willing to keep paying outrageous prices, let's keep gorging them. Let's take as much as we can. And so one of the things I noticed that was when things started to go the other way. Was this year WrestleMania was in Las Vegas, and they couldn't sell out WrestleMania on either night, and they had to give away free tickets to WrestleMania, and they had to drastically cut the cost of the tickets. But before they cut the cost of the tickets to WrestleMania, they charged people insane amounts of money, never seen before. So WrestleMania was at the Stadium, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl of wrestling, right? And so people come from all over the world and they book hotel rooms and they go to the event and they spend money on food and gambling and shit like that. So, of course, Vegas has a vested interest in the WWE doing a 2-night event at their football stadium because they know it's going to bring in a fuck ton of revenue. So the WWE charged more than they ever had. They were charging like 20 grand to fucking sit ringside, 5 grand to sit in decent seats, and like a grand to sit in the nosebleeds. And then just before the event went down, they started cutting the costs of the tickets because they couldn't sell it out. And then the day of the event, they cut the tickets down to super cheap. And then they even had to give some tickets away in order to fill the building up so that they could be like, oh, look, we sold out the building. That's when I realized that this Vegas fucking heyday is over. And now it's going to start going the other way. So once I saw WrestleMania fucking do their big cash grab, and then the show turned out to be dog shit. So the WrestleMania turned out to be one of the worst WrestleManias of all time. And guess what? Vegas said, bring WrestleMania back for 2026. And so Vegas is throwing a bunch of money at the WWE to come back and do WrestleMania there again. And I'm guessing this next year they're going to have an even harder time selling tickets because they just put on the worst WrestleMania ever, in some people's opinion, and they charge the most money ever. So imagine having a product where you're charging the most money you've ever charged, and you're giving out the shittiest product. And it's not just wrestling that's doing this. It seems like almost every industry is putting out a dog shit product and trying to get top dollar right now. It's almost like by design, every major industry is serving up dog shit or a lesser quality product than they used to and trying to get more money out of you. So I know not everyone cares about wrestling or whatever, but basically the economy is tied back to gambling, is tied back to Vegas. Vegas is tied back to wrestling, is tied back to football, which is tied back to fucking gambling again. See what I'm saying? So all these industries, when people stop spending their money, they take a gigantic fucking hit. And the beast system has to get that money out of us somehow, some way. So if we ain't going to show up to Sin City, well, then they got to come up with some other ways to get that fucking money out of us, right? So I feel like the dominoes are starting to fall, and there's a bunch of signals being sent that something major is about to go down. We're starting to see world stage actors, die off, almost like they know something big's about to go down. So their character gets to fucking exit scene left, exit scene right, what have you. Fucking, leave people thinking Hulk Hogan and Ozzy and Theo just died. Well, what if Hulk Hogan, Ozzy, and Theo all know that we're about to go into Plandemic 2.0, right? And they don't want to have their character on the world stage having to deal with that shit, so that they get to exit, right? We all know what happens to the celebrities when they go into the Plandemic mode. They have to start pushing the boosters and the VAXXs, pushing the agenda, telling people to stay home, telling people to stay apart. Remember when that happened? When all those awesome, funny celebrities and comedians and athletes said, hey, stay home, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart. Remember? Remember when they told you to do that? Let me get back to the Vegas decline, and we'll connect it back to the decline of everything.
But through June of 2025, the visitor numbers have plunged by over 7% compared to the first 6 months of last year. But why? Culinary Union leader Ted Papageorge blames the White House, calling it a Trump slump triggered by hostile feelings overseas that are hurting international tourism, especially from Canada, and illegal immigration policies.
None of that has anything to do with it. Now, people don't have as much money, and then people are realizing that people aren't spending as much money. People are seeing local businesses crash and major businesses crash, and they're hearing news reports like this, which makes them want to hang on to their money even more so. So the more that they promote that nobody's spending money and we're heading into a depression, it causes the speeding up of the recession and depression. This right here just causes people to not want to go to Vegas even more. So why are they speeding up the decline? That's because we're headed for something major, y'all, in my opinion. All right. Nathaniel Arias says, your take on this. Here in Colorado, supposedly there is smoke from Canada and local fires. All day the smoke isn't around. Then about 4 p.m., smoke poof out of nowhere. I could be thinking way too much into this too. I have no idea what sort of machines or shit that they're doing near you because I don't live there. But I can tell you here in California, whenever they use the term wildfire, it's anything but a naturally occurring fire. And so I still wonder all the methods that they use, for burning all these places down to the ground. We were all fed the conspiracy bait. The dew lasers, they're just shooting dew lasers. Pew, 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 pew. But then when you really look into it, it's like, is that what they're doing? Just shooting fucking invisible lasers, but nobody's got video of a home being dew lasered from start to finish into nothing. Right? So people will be like, "Oh, all these homes are getting taken out by the direct energy weapons," but nobody's got a video of a home fully intact getting taken out and obliterated down to nothing. All we see is that homes are being obliterated down to nothing. And then you'll have somebody say, yeah, this had to be a direct energy weapon. See? So I'm to the point where I can't say for sure how they're even leveling all these houses, like what exact technology are they using? Because it seems like they're feeding us bait with the dew laser shit. So when it comes to wildfires, they're starting fires on purpose. And what technology and exactly what methods they're using and what their ultimate plan is for all that land and stuff. Well, I can speculate, but I ain't them, I'm not the one with the evil plan, burning shit down. So if I say, oh, they're making way for the bullet train, they're making way for, they want to have this new land for their new homes and their new businesses. They want to take the area from the people for pennies on the dollar. There's all this speculation I can throw out there, right? And it's the same speculation that you could throw out there. Like, why would they be doing that where you live? You're stuck just having to speculate. There's no way for you to know for sure why they're doing what they're doing. But they're doing something that don't seem right. So yeah, man, I wish I could help you out, but I'm not there in Colorado, and I haven't really heard anything about it. So this is news to me, what you're telling me. Anybody else in the Colorado area that might know what he's talking about? Maybe you can speculate. Thank you very much, Nathaniel Arias, for the super chat. Oh man, we got an easy question here about a scripted boxing match, asking me if it's scripted. I have answered this question so many times. I'm going to answer it again. If you can bet on it, It is fixed. They aren't going to let you bet money on an actual sports contest that they don't control, because then they might lose money. They aren't in the business of losing money. So if you can bet money on an event, that event is fixed. No exceptions. Ever. Well, what about no exceptions ever? I've said this probably 100 times. If you can bet on it, it is fixed. I'm not talking about a bet with your friend. I'm talking about plot money on the counter at a casino sports book, like a William Hill sports book or an online sports betting app. If you can bet money, big money on it through an official sports betting app or outlet, then it's fixed. Especially a big name fight in Las Vegas. Especially that. Easy question. How can live hockey be fixed? So I'm not a hockey expert, but you basically just have one team that knows they're going to lose, not try their hardest to win because they know they're going to lose. So if you know you're going to lose 3-2, and you know which two guys on your team are going to get to score the 2 goals, and you know your team's going to lose 3-2, you go out there, you pretend like you're trying your hardest. The 2 teammates who are scripted to score. It's 2-2. The crowd's all into it. And with a minute left, the game-deciding goal is scored by the home team, let's say. And everybody's like, yay, right? And then money changes hands at the sports book. People go home thinking that they watched a real hockey game. And all you got to do is have the guys on the ice just pretend to play hockey. That's it. That's it. So the UFC fighters pretend to fight. They hit each other for real, but if you really slow down the footage and you look really closely, you'll see a lot of grazing shots. And then guys, pretending like they got rocked. And then a ref steps in really fast. So in the UFC, people will be like, how can you script someone getting knocked out? Easy, like this. Oh, and then the ref goes, whoa, oh, that's over. And then the crowd's like, yay. You just step in and stop it. And the guy who loses the fight knows that he has to eat one good shot. Yeah, it's your paycheck. You got to get hit once for real, but you know you're going to get hit once for real. And then you're going to pretend that you're fucking super knocked out. And you go down, and then the dude's going to jump on top of you and hit you with a hammer fist on your forehead. And then the ref's going to pull him off. And that's going to be the ending. Okay? So go out there and do that. And then when you come back, we're all going to celebrate. So the 2 guys go out. They circle each other. One guy lands his shot. Oh! And the other guy who's been hit has to, go down, pretend like he's all rocked. And then the announcers sell it. Oh my God! He's been rocked! This fight's about to be over! Whoa! Come on, man. Yeah, but how do they script baseball? Guys, am I going to have to make a video where I tell you how they script every fucking sport? It's pretty easy. Baseball. You can have the pitcher throw balls on purpose. Right? Baseball. You could just have the pitcher walk a dude. You could have the pitcher walk 4 dudes in a row and walk in a run and have that team lose because the pitcher walked 4 dudes in a row. You'll be like, why didn't the manager pull him out? That's because it's fucking fake baseball. Oh yeah, here's another thing. Errors. Professional baseball players will mishandle a routine fly, mishandle a little fucking ground ball. Oh, can't figure out how to throw the ball to first base. Accidentally throw the ball over the first baseman's head. And people will be like, how could you possibly script baseball? You could have the batter know what pitches are coming. You could have the pitcher throw a nice, easy one for the batter to fucking blast. Right? So if you want to script the home run, you tell the batter, all right, he's going to fucking throw a fastball, and then you let that one go by. And then he's going to throw a fucking slow changeup. And we want you to smash the fucking changeup out of the park. And if you don't, we'll give you another shot. We'll have them throw you another changeup. So we're going to try and get you your... They can juice the ball. They can juice the bat. They can juice the player. So you can have a player on steroids using a corked bat, and then the ball's been doctored to fucking go farther once it's been hit. And have the pitcher throw an easy one. And people will be like, how can you script a baseball game? It would be impossible. But Jake, how would they script golf? You can't script golf. Remote controlled golf ball. Oh, I never thought of that. But how would they script basketball? Magnetic ball, magnetic rim. They control whether the ball goes in the rim. Oh, how would they script football? The players are pretending to play. Here's how they script anything. The fucking participants are pretending. Ooh. Yeah, but Jake, what about college basketball? There's no way they can get college kids to pretend to play basketball. Jake, but what about Michael Jordan? Was he scripted good? No, man. He won all those championships for real, back when they were playing real basketball, dude. Brother, let me tell you something, brother. Back when the Hulkster was slamming Andre the Giant, wrestling was real, dude. Nowadays, now that the Hulkster's passed away, wrestling's fake, brother. It's the fakest bullshit you've ever seen. But back when the Hulkster was wrestling, every bit of it was real. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Every match that the Hulkster ever participated in was totally for real, dude. But Jake, how do they script NASCAR? You can't drive a car less fast than another man on purpose. NASCAR can't be scripted. Everyone's always trying to win at NASCAR. There's no way you can not drive as fast as another man on purpose. Jake, nobody would ever go out there and win or lose a car race to make money duping fucking idiot sports bettors who think that it's a real car race. What about horse racing? Yeah, what if them horses already practice that same race and they've got it down to a science? What if they have technology in place to make a horse fucking slow down or speed up, right? Whatever it is, it's controlled and fixed. Nah, man. Badminton is the one thing untouched. It's the one real thing, man. Nathaniel Aria said, a guy I know won Super Bowl tickets when 49ers Ravens played in it. It looked I looked at the fine print and it said something about for entertainment purposes. When you buy a ticket to see an NFL game, you are buying nothing but a seat to be a spectator at an event where a football game is played. The football game itself doesn't have to be a fair sporting contest. The refs don't have to try their hardest to make the best calls. The players don't have to try their hardest to win. All that you're buying is a seat at an event where a football game is taking place. And that's how they get you. So if you try and take them to court, they'll be like, all that we offered is a football game for your entertainment purposes only. If you were idiotic enough to think that that was a real game and then bet a bunch of money and then lose a bunch of money because you thought one team was better than the other because they had a better defense, because you studied the roster, well, that's on you being an idiot. All right? And that's how they get a lot of people. A lot of guys are like, I watch the games. I know who the best players in the league are. I play fantasy football and I know all about these athletes. So I have an advantage over knowing which team's going to win and lose and cover. That's what they want the average sports fan to think, is that if you watch the games and you pay attention and you know about the players and which players are better and which teams are better, and you look at the standings and you think about it in your head, that you're smart enough to know who's going to win. That's what they want, right? So that's why 2 seasons ago, when I went the opposite on a lot of those trap games, I was winning and hitting a lot of upsets and had a positive record. So I have a feeling if Vegas is going to make back their money this year, they're going to have a lot of upsets go down this season in football. So I noticed everybody on the social media networks are talking about some Sweeney slut with the pressed together tits and jeans, right? Oh, Sydney Sweeney and her jeans. Here's my opinion. Yeah, you know why I'm not going to give you my opinion on some Sydney Sweeney slut with her tits pressed together and her jeans? Yeah, because I'm not a fucking idiot sheeple who's going to be distracted by some worthless, irrelevant chick with her tits pressed together who's wearing jeans, who I'm supposed to have an opinion about. Guess what? Don't care. Not going to have an opinion. She can take her tits, she can take her jeans, shove it up her ass. And anyone who has an opinion about her, don't care. Shove it up your ass. Oh, and guess what else? The Epstein files, shove them up your ass. Don't care. Yeah. Hey, script writers, take your Epstein files, shove them up your ass. Nobody cares. The sheep will care, but I don't. I don't give a fuck about no Epstein files. Fuck Epstein, fuck Trump, fuck Epstein's Island, and fuck those files. Don't care. You know why? It's because I know most all of it's made up bullshit by the mainstream media anyway. That's why I don't care. That's why I tell them to take it all and shove it up their ass. Meanwhile, if I go on Facebook, I see the common sheeple like, Sydney Sweeney, blah, blah, blah. Epstein files, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I'm the one guy in the world like, take your fucking Epstein files, shove them up Sydney Sweeney's cunt, and then take Sydney Sweeney and her pressed together tits and her Epstein file cunt and shove it up your ass. And then you collectively go to hell and never fucking mention any of those pieces of shit or any of that propaganda ever again. That will make me a very happy man. Oh yeah, I already read that. Like I started seeing like all this stuff related to this Sydney Sweeney character, like black people are furious at Sydney Sweeney. White people are happy with Sydney Sweeney. Pick a side. Oh, and while you're at it, check out this chick's tits, man. They're pressed together and stuff, dude. Right? Nah, not gonna do it. Not gonna cover it. Not gonna give a fuck. How about that? Here's the deal. If I say the Epstein shit is a psyop, you know what people will say? The idiots who want to attack me? You're covering for Epstein. You're a shill for covering the sick stuff that goes down on Epstein's island. You're covering for it by not talking about it. Like, dude, I don't believe in it. The TV's the one who fucking told you who that is. If you didn't watch TV and you never knew who Epstein was and you never heard about his island, you wouldn't give a fuck. But you're virtue signaling because you saw something on TV or on the internet. So you're pretending like you know what went down on a fucking island. That's like pretending like you know what went down at Puff Daddy's parties and then virtue signaling. Puff Daddy, what he did to Justin Bieber with baby oil is disgusting. And I no longer like Puff Daddy. And I feel sorry for Justin Bieber and what happened to him. They get you talking about what happened at fucking Puff Daddy's parties or Epstein's island. They got you. I ain't talking about that stupid shit because I'm not a stupid, dumb motherfucker falling for mainstream media propaganda. That's why. But if I say that, then people will say, Jake's a shill who's covering for all the disgusting stuff that went down on Epstein's island. So he's pretending like there's no such thing. Retro Girl saying she never heard a Justin Bieber song. I don't know. I think you're lying. I think it's impossible to like make it through life without hearing these pop stars' terrible music. Like, I don't like Katy Perry, but I am a human being and I've been to Las Vegas. And if you're a human and you go to Las Vegas, at some point, Katy Perry's music is going to be blasted at you, whether you like it or not, and you won't be able to escape it, right? You can run away, but your ears will have heard it, right? So if you go to Fremont Street, they'll stick it up on the fucking roof, Katy Perry, and they'll Daisy Dukes bikinis on top, and now you know it. Now it's in your head. Daisy Duke bikini on top. Do I listen to that recreationally? No, but it found its way into my fucking brain somehow. So don't anyone act like you don't listen to fucking pop music when it's forced upon you. Because you have to listen to it. It's forced on your ass. If you go to the supermarket or stuck in a fucking elevator, you go to a casino, you just get online, you scroll on fucking Instagram or TikTok or whatever, you're going to be slapped with pop music that you don't want to hear. And they're going to fucking get into your eardrums whether you like it or not, right? Like, I don't sit around listening to Justin Bieber, right? Never. Why would I do that? That would be retarded. But I know, baby, 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 oh, baby, 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 oh. I know that chorus. I don't know the rest of the song, but I know that chorus right there. Why do I know that? It's because if you walk around out in public, it will find you. This is a hell realm. This is a fucking nasty, dirty, shitty place. And it's beautiful at the same time. So one of the things that makes this a hell realm is that there's god-awful fucking pop music made by the devil and by people who sold their soul to the devil, and it will find you, and it will fucking make its way into your ears no matter what you do. You can't fucking hide from it. So anyone who's like, I've never heard of Justin Bieber, I don't know who that is. I don't know who Katy Perry is. I'm like, fuck you, you're lying. You heard their music. You know exactly who it is. You know exactly how those songs go. Quit trying to act cool like you never heard some shit pop music. Of course you have heard some shit pop music. So have I. Yeah. Chris Brown. Chris Brown's in the news. Have you guys heard? Chris Brown? He's in the news again. He got a new tattoo. Chris Brown. He's got a new tattoo of Rihanna on his dick. So now he can beat her anytime he wants to. Well, what a wonderful audience. All right. Hey guys, Jaron here. I'm going to be doing my Thursday Fact Down show. Last week, I got the lowest amount of views that I've ever gotten on a live stream. At one point, there was only 30 people watching, you guys. Hi, I'm Jaron. I'm a total failure. My show contract is up. And now, nobody wants to watch me. Globe cucks don't want to watch me. Flat Earthers don't want to watch me. Nobody wants to watch me. Hey guys, I'm Jaron. I'm going to do a trivia show. Hey guys. I'm going to be streaming for nobody next week. There's going to be nobody watching. You want to do trivia? You want to waste your time doing trivia with Jaron and nobody? Ah. You guys want to know something funny? Right now, the professional Globe Cuck channels having trouble getting views, struggling. Yeah, Mick Toon, Fight the Fat Ass Craig. Yeah. Seems that there's not really any flat earth content for them to debunk anymore. They don't have any flat earth shills to have scripted debates with anymore. So guess what? They don't have anything. And it's almost as if the flat earth shills, all their channels are basically dead in the water. So in 2025, we're 10 years removed from the year that flat earth blew up. In 2015, flat earth blew up here on this platform. 2015 was when I saw flat earth show up in my feed and I started watching. And then by 2016, January 2016, I made my first video, Flat Earth Popular Questions, right? And now when I look, all those channels that used to be so big and popular have all basically fallen off. Some of them completely fallen off. Don't have an audience anymore. It's almost like their shill contract was 10 years long and it's over. So imagine you got a shill contract to be a flat earther for 10 years and then it ends. And then they pull the support away. And then the channel is just like some irrelevant, non-existent thing now. It's kind of what happened to a lot of the flat earth channels. That's why I no longer want to be called Flat Earth Asshole, because there was a controlled rollout of fucking shills. And a lot of them have fallen by the wayside or become completely irrelevant. And this channel, the opposite direction. Still going strong. So, anywho, just wanted to point out that it's funny to see the flat earth versus globe earth debate, both sides basically die out. Here I am, I've outlasted the topic, outlasted the debate. No advertising. In fact, it's to the point where there's no reason for me to expose Jaron. His channel's dead. He's doing a trivia show that almost literally nobody watches. He's down to the lowest amount of people watching. It gets lower and lower every week. It's basically his channel's dead. So me exposing him, it's almost like, why even put eyeballs on it? Why even talk about him if his channel's dead in the water, right? It's almost like me exposing him would give him a few eyeballs on his channel. So fuck it. That's it, man. There's like almost no reason for me to even bring the guy's name up ever again. That's how irrelevant and dead his channel is. I'm beating a dead horse, which isn't very entertaining to beat a dead horse. So I guess I'll just have to move on and go have fun on vacation and create some new content that doesn't have anything to do with these scumbag shills who I've destroyed and decimated and left in my rear view. I guess I'll have to go find something else to do, something else to talk about, which shouldn't be too hard. There's a lot of channels, who like to stalk me because they're jealous of me. And that's fine. Let them be jealous. So Holden, those slander channels, like I told you, don't interact with them at all. In fact, I found out who's running that slander channel, and I don't think it's Jaron. In fact, I know who it is. So here's the new plan. Slander channels get no attention from me. Yeah, good luck running a slander channel that gets zero engagement from me. Oh, and here's another thing. If I spot any of you supporting a channel that slanders me, all I do is see you in the comment section thanking that person, telling that person how good of a job they did, slandering me, I ban you from the channel on site. So there's a few people who paid for memberships to my channel, but then they go support the slander of me. And they think they can play both sides and come over here and pretend to be my friend, pretend to be cool, buy a membership even. Want to partake in the members only streams. And then they go over to a slander channel that's using artificial intelligence to fucking straight up slander me in a very heinous and disgusting way. If I spot you supporting men who are heinously slandering me in a disgusting manner, I'll ban you from the channel. Happily. Yeah. And I've already done so. I've spotted people who were paying members supporting someone slandering me as if I wasn't going to find out, as if I wasn't going to see it. I've got you figured out, slander channel. I know who you are. I've got it figured out now. So guess what? The attention you want, not going to get it from me. In fact, nobody's going to get any response from me who slanders me. So you want to dedicate a whole channel to slandering me? Have fun. Knock yourself out. I'm going to be busy making the content that people like and love and want to keep watching. I'm going to be the one living the life and having fun while you're desperately looking for clips to attempt to slander me. And guess what? It won't work. No slander channel has ever been successful at stopping me. No slander channel has ever succeeded in stopping me from what I am doing. And no slander channel will ever be successful in stopping me from what I am doing. So, if you want to dedicate your life to attempting to slander me, have fun wasting your life, bitch. I will never leave a comment over there. Never going to tell people who you are. Never going to talk about you. I'm going to be too busy making this new form of content, which is going to get me new viewers, new subscribers who don't know who the fuck you are, and they'll never find out who the fuck you are because they'll be too busy watching me. So, Keep digging up those clips from the past and rearranging them in a way that you think is going to make people hate me. Good luck with that. And I'm talking directly to the people who dedicate their lives to stalking and slandering me. You're wasting your life. I live rent-free in your head. You won't get any attention from me ever on this platform, outside of what I'm saying to you right now. And I know you're too much of a pussy to put yourself on camera and refute anything I'm saying with your face or your mouth. And you know who I'm talking to. With that said, that's all I got to say about that. Oh, shit. Looks like I missed several super chats while I was spouting off. So there's channels who won't dare show their face, won't dare give their name, but they want to talk mad shit about me all day, every day. It's like their whole life is built around talking shit and slandering me, but they're too chicken shit to fucking put their ugly mug on camera and say it with their mouth. So guess what? Yeah, have fun with your little sock accounts wasting your life. I'm going to be busy making content that people love. All right. Rigged for Life said, can you do the mask on, mask off, dumb shits catching virus joke? All right. All right. So right now, I am dangerous because I'm spreading germs and disease. I'm a dangerous man. So if I was to walk up to you, right, I could have spit come flying out of my mouth, which could be carrying deadly little spiky balls, which could totally go inside your mouth and give you a disease. So to keep you safe, whoop, there you go, right? Now you don't have to worry. Now you're safe. You're safe from me giving you a disease. Oh, but now you're in danger. I might give you a deadly disease because my face is showing and spiky balls might come out of my nose and mouth and go inside your nose and mouth, and then you'll catch spiky ball disease and die. Oh, so now you're safe. Now you're in danger. Now you're safe. Now you're in danger. Look at me. I'm putting you in danger. Oh, but now we're friends. We're cool. Let's be friends and let's both stay safe, right? Nobody gonna give each other spiky ball disease. Except for now. Now you're in danger. But now you're safe. Danger. 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 Safe. Safe. You're safe. You're totally safe right now. But now you're in danger. You're gonna die. But now you're safe. Everything's cool. You're totally gonna live. But now you're gonna die. All right. There you go. Haven't done that one in a while. I came up with that one back in 2020. All right. Incited Mind said, Mom said you look like the Blues Clues guy grown up. Tell your mom thanks. I'm just looking like Blues Clues. I'm just looking like Blues Clues. I'm just looking like Blues Clues. I wonder what your mom smoked. Hey guys, I don't know about you, but I think it would be a fun day to go looking for some clues. How about we go look over here? Look, I found a clue. This dog right here is really freaking cute. That's a clue, you guys. That I have an awesome and amazing dog. What? I was looking for a reason to bring Ralphie in for a appearance. So I figured the Blues Clues would be the good time to do it. There you go. Ralph Monkey. All right, let me pull up the next super chat. Blues Clues guy. Okay. I missed some super chats from earlier. I'm going to go back and read them. My bad. Totally missed a few that came in probably several minutes ago. Robinson JP83 said, I gamble once every 3 months at a casino. Do you have a favorite casino you like to go to, and do you prefer tables or slots like the name change 100? I used to do really well in Reno back when they had a bunch of advantage machines all over town and all the casinos. So I used to be able to go to Reno and go to each different casino, walk around, check the advantage machines, and I'd find plays all over town all weekend. So I used to make like $500, $1,000 cash in a weekend in Reno. But then some of the casinos started removing advantage machines, and more players started showing up fucking checking the machines. So the advantage scene in Reno declined, and now it sucks. Now I can't even make money in Reno, it seems. There's just not enough machines and too many players. So the big problem is there's too many players nowadays checking machines, and a lot of casinos are removing advantage machines. Advantage machines are ones where you can have an advantage left by the player before you. And in some cases, you can have an advantage over the house on a slot machine, or even a guaranteed win on a slot machine if the person before you plays a certain machine and leaves it set up in a certain state. You can identify by what's on screen whether or not you're going to win. And so, yes, professional slot playing is a thing, but you got to walk around and you got to check for hours. And there's lots of Asians doing it. And so there's lots of competition. So it's one of those things like, yeah, if you're going to find a diamond ring out on a beach with a metal detector, well, you got to go out there and spend the fucking time with the metal detector looking. Otherwise, you won't find it. So it's one of those walk around and check. And then when you finally find an advantage, you got to hope like fuck that it goes your way. And if you only play when you have advantages, you're going to win. So, yeah, I used to go to Reno a lot, but now I don't go hardly at all because it sucks. And ever since I got my dog, I don't go to the casino hardly at all anymore because I don't really like to leave him here for that long. So yeah, I don't go that much anymore. But I used to do really well playing advantage machines. All right. Got that one. And then and then Dan Pineda before that asked where my silly hat is. One sec. Let me pull that one up. Dan Pineda said, "Where's the silly hat?" Oh. There it is. So sometimes I do a stream where I don't wear the hat and nothing changes. I'm still the same dude, right? I'll either think of some funny stuff to say or I won't. And the hat doesn't seem to help one way or the other. Robinson JP83 with a super sticker. All right. How old is my hat? Well, I've had this since, back in my original band days with Z Strain. I want to say it's like 15 years old. It's in decent shape for being that old, right? All right. Looks like somebody has a impression request. Somebody wants me to do Stone Cold and Roseanne. One sec. Let me pull it up. Lint away air duct cleaning. All right, here it is. Lint away duct cleaning with a comedic request. Stone Cold on Roseanne Barr. Welcome, Earthlings, all Earth creatures. Welcome, Anunnaki. Welcome to the Nephilim. Today we have one of the greatest professional wrestlers who's ever done the professional wrestling thing. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, hell yeah. It's what you want to do right now. Oh, that felt weird to try and transition from Roseanne into Austin. If you want Stone Cold to get drunk right here on the Roseanne Barr Show, then give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. If you want Stone Cold, drink some beer with Roseanne. If you want Stone Cold and Roseanne to get drunk, give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. If you want Stone Cold to hit Roseanne with her fat tits with a Stone Cold stunner and then drink some beer and stomp a mud hole in her ass and walk it dry, give me a hell yeah. Hell no. I definitely don't want you to walk my ass dry. Stone Cold and Roseanne Barr. It felt weird at first to transition from Roseanne into Stone Cold. Sometimes it's like the characters are on like opposite spectrums, right? And I gotta like bring these two people together who like I've never seen on screen together. Well, you're a pretty sexy guy. I actually have a thing for bald men. I used to have a crush on Captain Picard from Star Trek. He was the world's sexiest man. I had a big crush on Captain Picard because of his bald head. In fact, I used to find Goatus incredibly sexy because of his bald head. That's why I find Stone Cold sexy. In fact, I'm going to try and seduce Stone Cold right now by singing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's... If you want Roseanne to shut her fat mouth and we can all drink some beer and I'm going to stomp a mud hole in her fat ass and walk it dry, give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Oh, this guy wants me to bring back Jake the Asshole. Nope. The name is Jake the Awake now. I like it. It rhymes. It doesn't make people think of asshole. You can like share it with your mom or your grandma. You could be like, check out this funny guy. His name's Jake the Awake. He's so funny. Instead of going like, hey, grandma, check this out. It's an asshole, grandma. I want you to watch this asshole. Hey, grandma, I want you thinking of assholes right now, grandma. So instead, you could be like, hey, grandma, check out Jake the Awake. He's so funny. He does this impression of Roseanne, grandma. You're going to think it's so funny. Grandma, remember how you used to watch Roseanne? Watch this guy. He does the best impression of Roseanne that you'll ever see. See? Your grandma's way more inclined to watch Jake the Awake than Jake the Asshole. See? Mojave or Mojave, Pocahontas 3160 said, "Can I please get the chorus of Just One of Those Days from you? I know you'll own it." Just one of those days? Are you talking about just one of those days that a girl goes through when I'm angry inside? I don't want to take it out on you. Just one of those days. Is that what you're talking about? Maybe not. Might be a different song. I off the top of my head, I remember a song, Just One of Those Days. It was like some R&B black girl song. You might be talking about a different song. Or is it Limp Bizkit? Just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everybody suck. Everybody fuck. The best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. Just one of those days. It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. Yeah. Think about it quick. Let shit slip. You'll be leaving with a fat lip. It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. Yeah. Limp Bizkit. Yeah. You think you're special. You do. I can see it in your eyes. Yeah. There you go. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right now. Rolling, 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 rolling. Yeah. Rolling, 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 rolling. Yeah. Limp Bizkit in the hot dog flavored water. Westmoreland. Yeah. There you go. Who wants to go watch that live? Oh, you guys, I had this fucking epiphany the other day. Let me catch up on super chats first, and I'll tell you about my epiphany. Looks like I missed a super sticker. And then I'll go into my epiphany about professional musicians and what being a rock star means. One sec. Got to give credit to the super chat that came in. And then I'll go off on this epiphany that I had right after I give credit to Robinson JP83 for hooking a brother up with a super sticker. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, check it out. You guys, any rock star that you can think of, anyone who you would consider a rock star or a rock legend, what makes them a rock star or a rock legend? Is making music that people like part of it? I think so. So you have to make music that people like so that they're willing to pay and show up and watch that person play, right? So what do you want to see a rock star do? You want to see them play those songs that you like, right? Don't you want the rock star who you paid to see to play the songs that you like? Don't you want to see the rock star play your favorite song? So what are you paying money for? You're paying money to see someone play a song or a collection of songs that you already know and have heard before. And you want them to try and do it as good as they have in the past. You want a musician to repeat what they've already done and make you feel a certain way with this music that they've been playing their whole career. So imagine a musician that's been playing a hit song for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. That music's fucking old. But that's their job, is to get up there and repeat that. So imagine Metallica. They have to go play these big stadium shows and they got to play all them songs that people like. And the big culmination of the night is when they play Enter Sandman, you know, that old ass song. And so, what is a rock star? Someone who gets up and repeats the same shit over and over and over and over. And guess what happens if you try and repeat the same shit over and over? It gets old. Then you become an old rock star, repeating your old shit. But some people still think it's cool for an old rock star to keep repeating the old shit. And you know what it does to a rocker to keep getting up there and singing those songs with their band? It ages the fuck out of you. You go around touring, singing rock and roll with a band, and you got to keep this collection of dudes together and keep delivering this performance every time. And then 10 years later, people still want you to be as good as you were 10 years ago. And then when you're fucking 60 years old, people are like, yeah, be as good as you were in your 20s. Or at least try. People expect you to try and fucking repeat that shit, right? So what is being a rock star? If you've been doing it for 30, 40, 50 years, that's 50 years of repeating the same shit. Yeah, because that's what people want. They want to see you sing the classics. You don't want to see a bunch of new shit from a band that's 50 years old. No, you want to see them play the classics, right? So if you go watch Metallica, do you want to watch them play all new stuff? No, nobody wants to go watch Metallica play all new stuff. You want to watch them play the old stuff. And you want them to play it as good as they can, like back in the 80s. So Metallica in the 80s was at their best. And if you go watch them now, they're old fucks trying to be as good as they were in the 80s. So I had this epiphany. When someone pays me for me to sing a silly song like Land on the Moon or fucking YMCA in Trump, doing in Trump's voice, right? Or fucking any silly song that I've sang. Whenever someone requests that I do that, and I've done it 100 times already, and it's the fucking 150th time I'm redoing that, I'm only doing what all the other rock stars have done, repeating the shit that people want, right? So people want to see these songs that have been played a million bazillion times on the radio. That's what they want to see repeated. If you're going to go watch Metallica, they're going to play Enter Sandman. And they're going to play Sad But True and Holier Than Thou and fucking and Battery and all their classics. And if they don't, well, then you'll be disappointed and you won't want to go watch them, right? So people will get upset if the band or the performer doesn't do the hit songs that they're famous for. So even if the person who has the hit song is fucking tired of it, it's their job to keep on doing it. So it will age the fuck out of a man to continue singing the same song. So go take a look at some rock stars who 20, 30 years ago were on top of the world, and now they look like shit, but they're still up there, still trying to sing them same songs. So anyone who looks at me and goes, man, this goofy motherfucker, will sing Land on the Moon like 50 times and he never gets tired of it. People listen to Enter Sandman 50 bajillion times and they don't get tired of it. So who's the rock star? I am. I'm doing what any rock star would do, repeating what people want. You guys want to know my favorite rock star is? The only rock star I give a fuck about. I'll show you. Let me go to my history. All right, check it out. You guys want to see what a real rock and roll legend looks like? I'll show them to you. So this is Buck Dharma. Buck Dharma has been playing rock and roll on stage since the 60s. Buck Dharma is famous for singing and performing Don't Fear the Reaper and Burnin' for You and Godzilla. He sings the majority of the tunes for Blue Oyster Cult, and he plays lead guitar, and he plays rhythm guitar. He's 77 years old, and he gets up and he still plays Don't Fear the Reaper for real. He doesn't fake it. He's not some fat slob like Vince fucking Neil embarrassing himself. This is a rock and roll legend who's aged gracefully, and he can get up there and play his songs still pretty damn good. Not as good as he used to, but he still plays pretty damn good. At 77 years old, to get up there and stand there and play your tunes, that's a real rock and roller. And you know what? His name was never drugged through the mud. They never made this man humiliate himself. There's not a bunch of women who came out and said that this guy raped them. Nope. Blue Oyster Cult gets to finish out their career as rock and roll legends, untarnished by the bullshit of 2025. This is a man who sold out a long time ago, and I believe his contract ends when he drops dead on stage. Not the best singer, but he's singing for real. No auto-tune. No bullshit effects, just a clean vocal. And he's playing for real. Anybody who's a guitar player, look at his hands. He's fretting the strings. He's picking the strings. Everything that he's doing is real. Imagine being 77 years old and you have to front a rock and roll band and people paid to see you. And they want to see you play a guitar solo like back when you were in your 30s. You know, like 30 years ago. And you got to get up there and try your best at 77 years old to fucking sing and play everything that you've already played a million times. You got to play it for the million and fucking first time. After you've already done this, you got to keep getting up there and doing it again. That's what a real rock and roller is. A man who gets up there and keeps playing even after the music gets old, even after the music falls out of style. If people are still paying and still want to see you perform, a real musician gets up there and gives the people what they want and tries their best. This is a real musician. Seasons don't the reaper, nor do the wind, the summer, nor do the wind, the sun, or the rain. We can be like they are. Come on, baby. Don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand. We'll be able to fly. Who the fuck wrote this? This is some sort of wizardry, rock and roll sorcery. I know what it's like to stand around in a garage with other men and come up with cool shit, or at least try to come up with cool shit that people will be impressed by, that will hopefully make girls want to take off their clothes. But none of us were ever able to come up with anything as poetic as All Our Times Have Come. here, but now they're gone. La, 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 la. You telling me these dudes sat around and were like, hey, we'll get to this part and we'll just say la, 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 and it's gonna fucking fit and be perfect. Another thing I want to point out, this song outlived the cowbell sketch. Yeah, if you go watch them play, nobody says more cowbell. Nobody fucking talks about the cowbell. Everybody's busy listening and enjoying the song. The song outlived the fucking sketch. I know, 10 years ago when I would go to BOC shows, people would yell out, more cowbell! And people would even bring cowbells and bang on them. But guess what? They don't do it anymore. The song outlived the fucking sketch. People don't even remember the sketch anymore. Romeo and Juliet, together in eternity. $40,000 men and women every day. What in the fuck is this? Who came up with this? Eric Bloom over here, the other half of the vocalist in Blue Oyster Cult, 80 years old. This motherfucker's 80. An 80-year-old dude and a 77-year-old dude. These guys are the real rock and rollers, playing the real rock. And now here comes the best part, my favorite part. The wicked solo that comes from some other world. I have seen a million guitar players. I've seen the best guitar players who ever played guitar. And what I can tell you is this motherfucker right here doesn't get credit for writing one of the most mystical and amazing solos that there ever was. And he plays it a little different every single time. And if you go watch Don't Fear the Reaper live, he'll play the same solo a little different every time. It's never the same. The Don't Fear the Reaper solo, when you watch live, is always an ever-changing piece of art. But it's got a signature move where he takes the song to some other realm, and no other guitar player I've ever seen has ever been able to replicate this move. And then there's a section where he takes the feedback of the solo and makes the feedback a major part of the solo. So between this out of this world solo and the fact that that guy at his age is still up there and can do this, there's some magical shit going on with this rock and roll band that no other rock and roll band has ever quite been able to harness. I have seen that solo played live. Oh my God. Ugh, brings me to tears, that fucking song. I have seen that song played live 30 times. I have sat front row. I've seen him do it with my own two eyes. I've watched a ton of men play guitar, and that's the only one who's ever made me weep with his fucking guitar. Whoa. How in the fuck did that 77-year-old man just take a guitar piece and cross over to some other world and then bring it all back like that just perfectly? And if you go back and watch him do that same fucking solo back in the 80s and the 90s, it's like the same solo, but he plays it differently. And it's every bit as magical to go back and watch the old ones. So I go back and watch this motherfucker play that solo in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s and now up to 2025. And I sit there and I'm like, how in the fuck did he come up with that? There's a lot of great guitar players who can't get up there and keep pulling off the great shit over and over again. It's hard. So this guy right here, Buck Dharma is his name. That's his stage name. That's my favorite guitar player. That's the guy who I put my money down to go watch. In fact, got me a ticket front row to go see these motherfuckers. And they're going to be at a fair that's nearby where I live. So I'm going to go see them at least a few more times before they die. I'm going to watch these motherfuckers until they die. This is the only band that speaks to me. And you know what? I've seen the opposite. I've seen the big name bands that draw a lot more people that couldn't hold a candle to this band. This is a real rock and roll hero right here. A man who stands up on stage and plays his tunes until he fucking drops dead. So anybody talking about Ozzy Osbourne and what he meant to you, Ozzy Osbourne ain't nothing compared to this dude right here. You know what the best part of the Reaper is after the solo? The first solo is the second solo. The stuff that you don't hear on the radio. So this is the point where on the album, it fades out. On the radio or the studio album, the song just fades away right here. But if you go watch BOC live or you watch any live version like I do, this is where they play a few extra minutes of music that's not on the CD. It ain't on the album. It doesn't come on the radio. If you want these notes, you got to watch the live versions. And here's the cool part. This is where Buck improvises and plays whatever's in his heart. So this part of the show is where Buck just plays whatever is on in his mind and in his heart. And every time that you get to this section, he'll play it a little different. It'll never be the same. So every single Don't Fear the Reaper performance is different from the others. There is no Don't Fear the Reaper that is exactly the same. I probably just got my stream copyright claimed, but that's fine. You know what? So that's the only band that I go pay and see anymore. I pay top dollar, and I get that seat right there, right up front, right next to Buck. That's my favorite spot in all of entertainment, right there, right in front of Buck. That's the only man who's a musician who I geek the fuck out over. It's because he's a real rock and roll legend. 77 years old, and look at that motherfucker play Don't Fear the Reaper. Wow. Imagine being 77 and having to go play that. Wow, right? Try and learn that. Anyone out there who plays guitar? Yeah, the opening lick to Don't Fear the Reaper is a beginner's lick. But all the rest of that shit, like the solo and the ending solo, yeah. Go try and play that. So, back to my original point. What is a rock star? What makes a rock legend? Well, you got to create music that people like, and people are going to want to pay and are willing to pay to watch you play that music. And then when they show up, they expect you to pull off that music. And if you can play that music and pull it off and please them, they'll show up again. And you can continue your job being a rock and roll musician, but you got to keep playing those tunes. Nobody wants to show up to a BOC show and have them not play Don't Fear the Reaper. That's what everybody's fucking waiting for. There's moments where people are sitting there just waiting for them to bust out the Reaper. So, when people see me singing the same old song 20, 30 times, 50 times, Buck Dharma played Don't Fear the Reaper probably 50 million sextillion bajillion times. And guess what? Next time I go see him, he's going to get up there and play it again for me. I personally have Buck Dharma hired to serenade me in the future. He's going to play that just for me. And I'm going to be right there watching. My favorite song. That's some real rock and roll shit to me. And I know what it's like to be on stage. I know what it's like to play music. I know what it's like to sing. And I know what it's like to be a fan on the other side and just watch and just appreciate. So everybody's got their favorite rock and roll group. So whoever is your favorite, you go watch them and you want them to sing the old songs, right? So whoever your favorite group band is, don't you want to see them sing the songs that made them famous? Of course you do. And that's what they got to do to stay afloat and make it in that business. Keep repeating the same shit. And to repeat the same shit over and over, decade after decade after decade, is fucking hard. It is not easy to keep that shit going. So now I can show you an example of somebody like, for instance, Sebastian Bach, who used to sing like a bird, but now he's got to get up there and sing I Remember You, and he can't quite fucking hit the notes, but he's got to keep doing it, right? Or imagine being Bon Jovi, and people expect you to be like 1980s Bon Jovi, but you can't hit none of those notes no more. So I've seen bands that in their heyday they were good, but now they suck. Donkey dicks. For instance, a Vince Neil's fat ass, right, is like considered one of like the worst frontmen right now to go watch live. Well, Motley Crue live. Let me find the one where Vince Neil's blowing it. All right. So when you look at somebody like Vince Neil, Motley Crue, it's like they're faking it, like they're a fake rock band, right? Look at this. You got a fat dude up on stage who can't sing his tunes anymore, has to have a backing track. Tommy has been caught not playing his drums, yet drum noises are coming out. So Motley Crue has been caught faking it. And so Motley Crue will play for a much bigger audience than Blue Oyster Cult. But Blue Oyster Cult plays for real and blows these motherfuckers off stage as far as actual musicianship is concerned. But if people still want to pay to watch this, roll Vince Neil's fat ass out there and give it to him, I guess.
Somebody's getting paid. Give me a wow, wow, oh, honey. You're the shade. Please, how to pay. Please, how to pay.
I swear it's like he's trying to be bad on purpose. It's almost like he was told to go out there and sing as worst as he could. Like, Vince, you're already a made man. You're in the big club. Tonight, we'd like you to go out there and sing all of the words incorrect on purpose, just for shits and giggles. Yeah, we got some elites watching tonight, and they want to have fun laughing at you. So tonight, we want you to sing all the words wrong. Right? So when I see some of the jokes who people like are still paying to go see, I'm like, I don't get why you people would still go pay to see them. Some bullshit like that. So there's footage of Tommy in like a big stadium show with Motley where the drums start, but he's not sitting down playing. So he's like standing and posing, and then the drums for the song starts like a hi-hat intro or whatever, and he's not sitting playing. So a lot of rock and roll bands are fake, just fakers up there pretending, right? So that's another reason why I'm a big BOC fan, is because they're not faking it. Even at 77 years old, Buck's playing his guitar for real and singing for real. And Eric's up there singing for real. And they make mistakes. They're old dudes. So every once in a while, they fuck shit up. All right. I missed a bunch of, not a bunch of super chats, but I totally missed a couple super chats while I was going off on my music shit. And one baller says, was World War I and World War II staged? Was history class all a lie? Lots of the old footage is staged. So they have skirmishes where soldiers do die. So, you know, if you become property of the government and you sign up to go to war and fight and die, well, they can send you to go against other units and actually have some bullets flying and some bombs are blowing up and people actually die. But then the stuff on TV, a lot of that stuff is staged for the viewing audience at home. So I'm not going to say like nobody died at all in any of the world wars, but what I will say is a lot of the footage that was presented on TV was staged. And as far as history goes, like I don't trust anything like pretty much beyond like 100 years old. Anything that happened before I was born, very questionable. So you don't have to go back very far for me to start going, hey, wait a minute. I don't know if I trust that. Yeah, it's his story. So if men in a room can script what happens 10 years from now, 20 years from now, then yeah, you have to consider like most every major event was thought of by dudes sitting around in a room and how they were going to control what you think and feel with these certain events. AFHX4XC says spherage or sphedia and Richie from Boston having a deep-minded conversation after smoking a bong in a parking lot of a burger joint. Then homeless people ask them both for money. One of the reasons why you are incredibly very much unhealthy and depressed is because you are sitting inside of a man-made metal vehicle and you are vaping all day long, which is completely unnatural. You, of course, would be much happier if you would start eating raw meat. I've been saying for years that what I'm doing is not about living the most healthy life. It's about living the most godly life. And that's what I'm here to do. Spread the message of the Bible. And that's why I've been vaping nothing but the purest organic Bible vape juice. However, I will admit that perhaps my diet could be improved with the addition of some raw meat. However, I find the whole thing quite disgusting. I personally like barbecue. I like the way barbecue tastes. So I'm a little hesitant to start eating raw meat. However, that is neither here nor there, and I shall digress. Hey, excuse me, you guys wouldn't happen to have some change, would you? I'm trying to get 35 cents for the bus, and if I could just get like 35 cents for the, I would like to help, but I've spent all of my money fixing up my overlander, and I don't carry any cash whatsoever because I believe that cash is part of the beast system, and I only carry actual gold, and so I can't afford to give you any of my gold right now. I, of course, don't believe that money exists. Money is irrelevant, so therefore it does not exist. So, for that reason, I don't have any man made money to give to any homeless person who wants to ride a man made bus. It is completely unnatural to ride on a man made bus. In fact, all cars and vehicles are for pussies and girls. There you go. Sorry for taking so long to get to your super chat. I totally got sidetracked talking about other shit, rock and roll and whatnot. All right, well, I guess that's about all I have for you guys. I'll be taking off on my vacation to the coast and shooting some footage with my Osmo Pocket 3 in 4K. And I also still plan on going and tracking my dad down and see if I can't get him to tell us all about his plan. So I still have that plan to catch up with my dad at some point, which you guys have never seen my dad on camera before, so that'll be new. So, yeah, my vacation starts right after I wrap up this here stream. Someone asking if Goatus will ever get caught. Well, right now he's too afraid to go outside and film. He won't give away his location. He won't live stream. He won't do meetups. Anyone who asks him about the crimes he's allegedly committed or anything about him being a wanted fugitive, he blocks that person. So all of the evidence is there that he's a wanted fugitive at the end of his rope, and he's hanging out in some Asian country, is my guess. I've heard he's in Malaysia. I've heard he's in Cambodia. I couldn't tell you exactly where he's at, but I do know he's hiding out and he's afraid, and he just sits in front of a computer all day and just keeps uploading videos to YouTube, but he's not going live and not giving away his location. And how long can you go on doing that? How long can anyone keep that up? I don't know. And is Interpol ever going to go kick down his door and get him? I don't know. I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep this up. But it looks like he's stressed out and not enjoying himself. Can I do Roseanne interviewing Alex Jones?
Today we're pleased to interview one of the greatest truth tellers who's ever lived. He's basically a genius. He's basically like Jesus Christ reincarnated. Give it up for Alex Jones, everybody. Alex Jones.
Thank you. Thank you, Roseanne. And of course, this is new Alex Jones. And I got to tell you, this is not the old Alex Jones who's full of piss and vinegar. This is new Alex Jones. And Roseanne, I'm quite troubled by what Trump has been doing lately. If we can't trust Trump, then we can't trust anybody. And right now, I feel like I'm gonna cry. In fact, it's even worse. I feel like I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna puke while I'm gonna cry at the same time. Roseanne, right now, I feel like America's at the end of its rope, and I don't know what to do. Can you please console me? Can you hold me? Can you give me a hug?
Sure, Alex. I know what you mean. I've been feeling the same thing. It's like I don't want these fucking commies to destroy MAGA. It's like right now there's all these bullshit commies trying to take over. We need Trump to step up and get rid of these fucking commies. This fucking deep state. Hello to all the Nephilim and the Anunnaki who are out there listening right now. We're lucky to be hanging out with Alex Jones. Unfortunately, he feels like he's gonna puke. Are you feeling any better, Alex?
Unfortunately, no, I'm not. I feel like I'm about to puke right now. I think I'm about. I think I feel some chunks about to be blown. Folks, I think old Alex Jones is coming back. Folks, old Alex Jones has returned. I have been reborn. Old Alex Jones is back. Thank you for having me on your show, Roseanne. I no longer feel the urge to puke. Old Alex Jones is back, and I'm sick of your shit. Sick of the deep state. Tired of Trump. If we can't trust Trump, then goddamn friggin' fuck this deep state. In fact, fuck my neighbor. I'm gonna find my neighbor right now, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna eat his ass. Roseanne, would you like to partake in eating some of my neighbor's ass?
Alex, that sounds wonderful. I've always wanted to eat some of your neighbor's ass.
Well, Roseanne, today is your lucky day. I'm gonna haul them up, size them up, I'm gonna slice them up, and I'm gonna feed you some of my neighbor's ass. This is some delectable, delicious ass from my neighbor, and I'm gonna slice it up just for you, Rosie. All right.
What the hell? What's going on? There you go. I gave you some old Alex Jones and new Alex Jones talking to Roseanne. Whew. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I've been on here almost 3 hours, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up, and I'll go ahead and get to loading up my van so I can take off on my vacation. Start shooting my next awesome video for you guys. Not exactly sure where I'm going to stay first night, or what beaches I'm going to visit, or how long I'm going to be on the road, or what. But that's what I'm going to go do. So it'll be interesting to see how it all turns out. So yeah, I'm about to go on a vacation for I don't know how long, and do I'm not sure exactly what. I got a loose plan, but kind of going to let it happen. Let the chips fall where they may. All right, so with that said, thank you guys for hanging out with me. We got Texas Grown here coming in with a super chat. It says, Jake the Awake, let the platinum age begin. That's right. It's a new era. The Jake the Awake era has begun. I started the channel about 10 years ago as Flat Earth Asshole. That name doesn't fit anymore. I became Jake the Asshole, and that doesn't really fit anymore. So now I am Jake the Awake. It fits. It's perfect. It was meant for me. It was meant to be. Tweedly deedly dee. All right. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. I will possibly be on the road next Tuesday, so I might not be streaming next Tuesday if I'm still on the road. So I can't say for sure if I'll do a stream next week or not, but be on the lookout for new content coming your way for sure. Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years, hooking a brother up with some gas money. Thank you. Oh, and tell Winnie Cooper I said thank you. And tell your little brother from Boy Meets World, thank you. All right, Kevin? All right. Rose Bell says, good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out, Rose. Thank you to all my mods for hanging out tonight, shooting the shit with me and the rest of the live chat. You guys have a nice night. Peace out. Much love. And I'll see you in the next video or stream or whenever. All right. Good night. Bye-bye.